Alright guys, so this is the Unit 7 review, and all of these questions that I put up here on the in this videos, they are not the ones that you have in your review guide. They are similar, but not quite. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. So first thing here is classify the curve, and the first thing I see here is r squared. So this is a lemniscate. Okay, and so I know that it's a lemniscate because of the r squared. Okay, and something special about the r squared, and we'll go ahead and get into it. I'm going to go ahead and sketch the graph. So I know that's not part B. Part B is telling me what's the symmetry, so pay attention to your review guide. Okay, so symmetries I will come back to. C, we're going to sketch. So here, I know that the r squared is equal to 36. That tells me my r, if I take the square root, is equal to 6. And this right here is a sine graph. So again, this is a diagonal, just because it is a lemniscate. So sine would have meant that this is vertical for every other situation except for the lemniscate. So please keep that in mind. So as I draw this, I'm going to go 6 out. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and right here. So that right there is the shape of my lemniscate. Okay, and I'm going to go back to part D. We already have this actually. So the max R value was 6, and we need that to draw. If I look here, at pi over 2 does not look the same on both sides of that line. At the polar axis, it does not look the same on both sides of that line. But if I draw one through here, no, I'm not drawing it all the way through, but if I did, I would see that I have what I call pole symmetry. So go ahead and review through that so that you can have those questions, and they should be easy for you all guys. So easy for response here. Moving on to number 2. So first I need to find the components and then the magnitude. And so if I do that, if I'm going from C to D, this is x1, y1, x2, y2, so I can use my x2 minus x1, my y2 minus y1 equation to find my components. So this becomes -4 minus 9 and 0 minus, well, oops, messing up here. 0 minus a -7. So this becomes -4 minus 9 is -13. And minus minus becomes a +7. So these are my components, x and y, for my vector from C to D. Magnitude, I would just take my square roots here, guys. So again, I'm just not going to deal with any of the positive or negatives, because when I square -13 is going to be positive, going to be a positive number anyway. This becomes 169 plus 49, which is 218, I believe. Okay, so that's how we work these out. So I'm going to move forward here. Okay, so state of these two are orthogonal. So remember, this word right here means something. So when I see the word orthogonal, I'm really asking for the dot product. And specifically, I'm asking if it's equal to 0. So if I do the dot product, guys, remember, this will be given up to you, by the way, but okay, these are just the x's and these are the y's. So here, these are the x's and these are the y's. So this becomes 6 times -2 plus 4 times -5, which is -12, minus 20, which is -32. So because this is not equal to 0, this is not orthogonal. Okay. So moving forward, I'm going to solve for this this operation. So first thing is 8 times f, which I know f is 7 and 11, plus 10 times g, which is negative 12 and 0. So 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 11 is 88. Plus negative 10 times 12 is negative 120 and 0. So now I can add these two. So 56 plus a negative 120 and 88 plus 0, which 56 minus 120, I don't really know that number. Let me go ahead and work it out here. So 64, negative 64, and 88. Okay, so as even I have to do this, so if I have to do it, I'm sure you guys have to do it too. So show all your work, that way you don't get stuck. Okay, so here I'm sketching the curve. Okay, and really we don't need a whole lot of points here, guys. I'm only going to do a couple. They gave us the equations. So one, I know that I have a parameter of t, which is from negative 4 to 6. So I'm going to go ahead and choose negative 4. I'm going to choose 6, and I need numbers in between. So just to get the gist of it, guys, I'm going to go ahead and just pick a 0. Okay, I mean, you can pick as many numbers as you need, but 3 should be enough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it into my x equation, which I know is t. So these are going to be easy, just negative 4. When I plug a 0 in for t, it's just 0. And when I plug the 6 in for t, it is 6. Okay, the y equation is a little bit harder, so t squared, negative t squared, plus 2t over 3, plus 1/3. And man, these are some weird numbers. Okay, so for the first one, I would do negative 4 squared. And on your test, guys, these won't be as difficult as these right here. So just bear with me here. Plus 2 times negative 4 plus 1/3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bust out a calculator here just because these are some weird numbers. Okay, so when I do that, I feel like I did something wrong here. 14, 16. Okay, I get that my value here is 1/3. When I plug a 0 in, I also get 1/3. And here I get 10 and 1/3. So I'm getting negative 4 and 1/3, which will put me right here. 0 and 1/3 should put me here. And then the last point, 6 and 10/3. So 6 and 10/3 somewhere up here. So really what I'm seeing here is probably goes down and then it comes back up here. Okay, something like that. So again, all I'm doing here, plugging in values here and then solving. Okay. So the last problem I'm going to go over in this video here is convert this parametric into a rectangular equation. So here I'm going to solve for t with the x equation. So remember, you're solving with the x equation. So I get t is equal to x minus 2 over 3. Oops, sorry. And now that I have the t equation, I plug it in for y. So, oops. Instead of plugging in t, I'm going to plug in what I know for t. So x minus 2 over 3. And this is my final equation. Okay, again, remember when I turn into rectangular form, this only has x's and y's. So you will not have any more t, which if you see this final equation, there's no more t's in it. Okay, so this is the end of the first video, guys, and I'm going to continue here. So please look out for the videos and study hard.